Now we're playing with power.
Magnum.
Yeah, that's the extra large one. Helpful hint, you can always cut open magnums and then replace them and then tape them back closed and still impress me.
What? Previously on Sailing Adrift, we prepped the bilge for the bottom platform to be installed, picked up some lumber for our upcoming carpentry projects, then we tackled organizing the basement, sorting through all the pieces and parts that came with the boat so we could be absolutely sure that we aren't buying more than we need. Also, we really needed to clear out the garbage and see what we could salvage and what we could sell. We now have several eBay listings. If you're interested, hit us up in the comments below.
Last night I cut all the doors for these side panels here. Everything was relatively square. It's nice and smooth now and ready for final coat of paint. I checked the square on each of these, and these doors will fit just like that inside. There was one little mistake, so I put some thickened epoxy into this zone. We'll sand this down to make it nice and smooth, and all the other corners were great. I'm using plywood for these doors. You don't get the natural smooth pretty finish that you would get with lumber. So what I did was filled the gaps in with some epoxy all the way around the edge, and then we're going to sand these smooth, so we'll artificially have the smooth edges, and then when we paint them, hopefully you won't even be able to tell that it's plywood. So this is a typical void that you'll find in plywood, and the thickened epoxy, you can't tell, but it is actually penetrating and filling out that little mark. When we sand this down, it'll be nice and smooth and no longer have that little hole where the paint will kind of like go into the creases and stuff. All of this will be gorgeous and smooth, just like this guy. Here's after I've sanded it, and you see old voids that are now filled, and when you rub your finger over the surface, it's nice, smooth, and ready for paint. I'm going to sand these guys up, and then we're going to set them aside and paint them blue. This is primed, these aren't, so obviously we got to throw a coat of primer on these guys too. I won't make you watch me sand, that's boring. Well, this might look a little ugly around the edges, but it's actually quite smooth and ready for prime and paint. Turned out pretty good. Flush mount cabinetry is not the easiest thing in the world to do because there's not very much room for tolerances, but this turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, and everything fits in its place. So I'm gonna get downstairs, clean these up, and put some primer on, another coat. By the way, these poppables, pretty darn delicious. They remind me of food I would have loved when I was a kid and still love as an adult.
Today I'm working from home and it's going well. Chris has a small project for me to do today, and that is to paint the cabinet doors. There they are. I'm gonna add a layer to those. Keep them nice and pristine, hopefully.
You are terminated.
And I'm gonna try like hell not to get paint on myself. All done. Looks pretty good. Unfortunately, this happened though.
I'm back!
You're back.
Now we're playing with power.
Magnum.
Yeah, that's the extra large one.
Oh.
That's what Magnum means. Helpful hint, you can always cut open magnums and then replace them and then tape them back closed and still impress me.
What?
It's a condom joke.
Not a common joke.
We were using
A shitty one.
Yeah, we got one from Amazon, and it wasn't an airless sprayer. It was inexpensive, $70. We know we're gonna paint a ton of stuff. So we went ahead and got ourselves a big kid painter. Mostly because The brush strokes on the cabinets are driving me nuts, and I want to see, I'm going to use the best possible thing, and if there's still a texture on there, it's a lost cause. I can't make it perfect. This is actually, despite its large appearance, a small size project version of it. So it's not made to like paint a house or the outside of something. It's made to do little jobs.
Like cabinetry.
Like cabinets or insides of boats, which are small. The problem with the other one, that wasn't airless, is that when you go to use it, it has an internal compressor, and that internal compressor would blow debris around, which is fine if you're in like a controlled environment, like the paint tent we made downstairs. But if you're outside in the boat, it's blowing crap everywhere, and it just lands right in the middle of the wet paint that you're trying to keep pretty. So it was not successful. Number is half the fan size, so 1.5 millimeters. We're gonna have to order, if we want to use this for staying, 311. Whatever.
And how much was this new gadget?
This guy retails for $235, but we only paid $235. So we got a hell of a deal. So I'm gonna get this all set up and we'll give it a shot and see how well it works. I'm excited. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm excited. New toys.
That thing is awesome. It's like night and day. And I think this should give us the finish we're looking for, which would be awesome. And then we'll set it aside, pack it in like bubble wrap or whatever the heck we have to do to protect it until it gets nice and hard and ready to go. I'm a dangerous man.
Yeah, you are.
Oh. Well, look at that. Portland's finally being Portland again. Why does it always have to happen on the weekends when I've got all day long to do boat work? Look at that dump. All right, go ahead, finger my holes. Feel the smoothness of the interior. Get in there.
So smooth.
So these are gonna be the holes that'll let us pull it up from on side. You wanna go test fit it with me?
Sure.
All right, Kel, come on in. I'm just gonna watch you because you have to know how to put it in and take it out. Good question. See if you can figure it out. It's like a puzzle. Yeah, I told you I was just working on this space.
Doesn't fit there.
It does fit there.
This is where it goes?
Kind of.
Well, it doesn't. It's not wide enough.
Why do you think it does that? There you go. It's the floor, not the ceiling.
There.
See that?
Yeah. That looks quite nice.
Yeah, it fits. And that way we can put stuff in there on a stable, flat base.
Gotcha.
There are several more to do. There's this one, and the one that goes up here, and the one that goes over there, and the one that goes in here. So I'm gonna keep cutting these. What are you up to?
Just hanging out with you, I guess.
Oh, you wanna help me cut some more?
Sure.
Sweet, let's go back down and do something productive before Keepa has a conniption.
Sure you do.
We've really grown quite fond of Ramboard for template making. Here you can see all the templates for the giant floor puzzle we're creating.
Yes, and I'm 47 now. I've aged 7 years.
It's hard to be steady when you're shaking.
It's actually impossible. You did great.
Thanks. Dropped a few times.
How's that fit?
Great. I like this one. This is my favorite. Boom. Easy. We did it.
Yeah. What's funny is that actually seemed like we did it relatively quickly, but that took about 2.5 hours. No comment?
Boat bucks are like boat hours, or boat hours are like boat bucks.
They're 10 times as much?
Yeah.
Wait.
Right?
1,000 times as much.
1,000?
Yeah, a boat buck is $1,000.
Okay, well I go with 10.
Okay, well. Good work, Kelly. Good work cutting. Good work routing. Good work hole sawing.
I did all the things today.
Yeah, you're an expert.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
It's not. It really isn't.
That's
Confidence
fun.
goes a long way.
Exactly. All right, let's go get some tacos.
Okay. You can make the tacos.
Fine.
You can't go anywhere.
Taco time. I'm gonna go outside and finish up that framing, and then later we'll put in the deck hardware. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right. Check this thing out.
What is that?
It's a device meant to make straight holes in things, basically to emulate a drill press. I don't know how it works, but it seems ridiculous. I bought this a while ago. Can't remember what it costs, but it did its job quite well, so I give it a thumbs up. Miles Craft, so that's probably just some generic tool maker, but it worked. So if you ever need to make straight holes, this is really gross, so I'm gonna finish chewing. These Skittles are kind of stale. If you ever need to make straight holes on location, or if you don't own a drill press like I don't, definitely pick one up. Worth buying.
Why do we need to do straight holes?
Because crooked holes are bad. And we're trying to install all the deck hardware.
Exactly.
Look at that thing. That's the craziest thing I ever did see.
You gonna do a practice run?
Nah, it's ready to go. Let's start with the davits, shall we?
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So these were already drilled. And you can see the fiberglass underneath, which I think is pretty by itself. Like, you just look at it, it's like glass with some fibers in it. It's pretty neato.
Blinking, fix your boobs. You look like a bleeding Picasso.
We're gonna have to match these holes with these. So far, so good. I like this thing. Here's the true test. You ready? Ooh, confetti! Just like that, we have 4 holes. But there's one more step to do.
What's that?
It's a job I was going to give you. You ready for it?
Uh-huh.
You come in behind me with this bit, which is basically just something that kind of makes a little... And you might wonder why we need to do that.
Yeah, why?
And there's one simple answer. When we put the sealant in there, it's like a plate, so it's going to moosh it all out and be very, very thin. But what this bevel does, it makes a little like O-ring gaskety type thing with the sealant, which makes it more effective.
Which one do you want?
I don't care. You tell me.
Let's do top port.
Top port.
Ready.
Good.
Hold on. Did I say I was ready?
I'm just fitting my tool.
Go.
So let's range of motion.
Good?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm extreme planking.
No, you're not.
I know. Extreme mocking. It's when you mock your wife. That's extreme mocking. It's a dangerous sport. A little blade work there for you later.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I should just write all over the screen Kelly's future job.
We've had a productive evening.
We really have. Look at all this stuff we've installed.
All the hardware.
That. And those.
It's not pretty yet, but it will be. And you should go down in the aft cabin and Show off your paint job in little corner caps.
This looks like a death trap.
Say you like my cabinets.
Tell me you like my hat.
You're not wearing a hat.
Say it. Say you like my hat.
You're not wearing a hat.
I like your cabinets. I like both of them equally.
No, this one in the starboard side, I think that's yours. I don't know why, but mentally I feel like I'll take port and you take starboard.
Huh.
I don't know why.
That is weird, because I think I would get up more. But you want to dangle your toesies off the edge here.
That's probably what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
If you're taller than me, you want to sleep right here so your feet can dangle off the edge. I like hanging my feet off the edge. I like to sleep right on my face and dangle my toesies off the edge. And there's no hiding spots for monsters.
Okay, that's it.
We're done?
Yes. So the other day, I came out to the boat and I found this river of goo flowing through the bilge. And then I wondered, what is this? Did someone blow their nose? Sneeze too hard? No, Chris, that's not what it is at all. It actually looks kind of like dried epoxy, but this is viscous. So that led me to look at this thing right under here. Can you see it? Oh, there's the leak. That's the hydraulic cylinder that steers the boat. And it was leaking. Apparently, I did a little internet research. It's a Wagner 40, which is apparently a big juicy turd of a cylinder. Basically, the seal is leaking on the end of the cylinder. So we need to either get that repaired or replace it. Step one though is pulling it apart and capping off the hoses that connect to it. So that's what I'm doing right now. Luckily, in my bag of tricks, I found these, which should do the job just fine, but they'll need to be on them in order for this to work. So let's go ahead and, there, that's better. No more drippy drip. So next up, we gotta pull this apart, take it off, and take it to a shop and see what we need to do. Ta-da! So the big question was, do we rebuild this beast or do we scrap it and get a brand new one? First of all, these suckers cost at least $500, so I'd rather not have to buy a new one. And I talked to someone down in Florida and they said this guy is a beast. It's a commercial grade hydraulic cylinder and it's definitely worth holding on to because they should last forever and ever. So we're gonna go the rebuilding route, which I've never done before and I have no clue what I'm doing, but I did dig through all of our spares that we inherited with the boat and found this guy, which is the rebuild seal kit for this cylinder. Well, that was lucky. They cost about 50 bucks. I ordered another one because we're obviously going to use this and we'll need a spare. Here is everything that comes in this kit. I assume it will make sense when I pull it apart, but making this video serves two purposes. One, it shows you what I'm up to, and two, it gives me a retraceable video diary as to how I pulled this thing apart. All right, I already know that I'm gonna run into one problem. I don't have the tool required to take this little cap off the end. It requires something called a spanner wrench. I'm gonna go pick one up right now, but it basically hooks into those two and then unscrews. So we'll head out, we'll get one of those, and then we'll start pulling this sucker apart, and hopefully we won't make too big a mess, but I'm already covered in hydraulic fluid. So that's probably inevitable. I am going to, since I'm doing this already, just go ahead and flush the whole hydraulic system and bleed the air out of it. That sounds very sophisticated. I have no idea what that entails. So there's gonna be some homework involved as well. This is apparently called a face spanner wrench, not a surface spanner wrench. I got yelled at by the guy for thinking. Anyway, I'm a little worried that it's not gonna fit. Yeah, it doesn't fit. Oh God, that's annoying. You just grind those down, sand them, what? All right, I'll be right back. You wait here.
As always, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button below for weekly videos.
What do you think of my new pants that I just purchased?
I think they look great.
They were $10, and that's a bargain because I need disposable pants.
That sounded gross.
I'm covered in white goo.